Hey, how you doing? This is Stone Thug, rapper, singer, poet, painter, green home developer. You know me. If you don't, just Google me. This is a open letter video, I guess, to President Obama, and I like to call it 10 things President Obama needs to do to stop World War III. And I just wanted to share it with the American people and possibly somebody who could maybe get it to the president, the information. I think as a tax-paying citizen, we all need to do little things like this time to time. Because time to time, the tree of liberty must be watered. But you can do that in a lot of ways. Of course, some Americans want to do it the old-fashioned way, but I think the tree of liberty should be watered with knowledge, suggestions, and kindness, reason. And I think that's a better way for the tree to grow, as opposed to those others out there who have more radical ideas. Anyway, I think that we definitely should not go to war. They said that a line has been crossed because of the gas. But what's worse, bullets or gas? Guns or gas? Bombs or gas? It's all the same. That's why they have it. That's why we have it. That's why our allies have it. Gas is just another form of a weapon. And all weapons are dangerous. All weapons are used for killing. And that's what weapons are for. So war is hell itself. It's the war that's killing people. It's not the gas. By whatever methods or means they choose to execute or to go forth with war, that's the problem. The war isn't gas. It's not gas. It's WAR. That's the problem. So it's war that we should be, that should be the red line. And that should be the red line for us as citizens, not to cross. We don't want to go to war. We shouldn't go to war. We've been in wars. We waste too much damn money with wars. The Vietnam War cost the American citizenry $100 billion. And what did we get for it? World War II cost us untold billions. And what did we get? The spying bill for the just for the services like the CIA, the CIA and the FBI and the other agencies that we have throughout the United States, like the NSA, is $54 billion this year. So that's a mistake. Of course, those guys wouldn't agree with that, but I think they should get something. Because I believe in spying. And I think that half of that money should be used for one thing and then give them the other half. If you want to give them some money, let them break up $10 billion and do what they can do with that. Hell, it's just spying. But they should spy not on the American citizens. They should spy on other countries. That's right, I said it. You heard it from Stone Thug. So spy on them. And you know what you should be looking for when you spy? You should look how they're doing things successfully. That's right. Other countries all over the world, villages and towns, townships and provinces, they are doing things that are successful for the citizenry, doing things that are successful for business, doing things that are successful for the economics of the entire city, for the state, the province, the country, education-wise, through helping to their citizens to start businesses, helping new businesses to develop. There are things that are out there, better ways of educating your children, better ways of helping people live healthier and live longer lives. That's where the other money should be spent on. The spying. They should spy on everybody to find out who's doing what, well, and they should share that with us. Now, the other half of that money should go into the inner cities. That's right, the cities. Inner cities, outer cities. You got some good white folks in rural areas that need money. You got some black folks that are anxious, young people, restless. They need money. I'm not saying give it to them. Of course, that would be better than just giving it to the spying agencies, but I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that you put the money in some sort of way that people have accessibility to it, where they could start businesses and start companies and do things that are, it's our money anyway, so you should give it to the citizens to start businesses, all types of businesses. And they should be innovative ways of doing new things, planting plants and contributing to the arts. There should be all sorts of methods to encourage people to come straight out of prison if they can, and to get into business and start businesses. And people should be prepared for business right out the cradle. We should have early development programs to help people, citizens, to start businesses and get into businesses and get money to start businesses. And I think that would be a much more effective way of spending the money, opposed to just giving it up for spying on the citizenry, looking at us, searching. And spying wouldn't be such a bad thing if, let's say, somebody accused you of a crime and the American government or any government stepped up and said, actually, that guy didn't do that. We happen to know that that person was here meeting at that person at that time. But the problem is they don't do that. Even though they know, a lot of times, many people are in jail today that have been accused of crimes where the government actually know for a fact that they were not there and they didn't do it. But because we got to keep everything secret, and we're spying on them because we might be watching them for A reason, they got in trouble for B reason. But if they stepped up and said, no, that guy didn't do that, we have the information. See, that would be wonderful. I think the citizens of the world wouldn't mind if spying was something to be used that way, in a productive way. But it's only used to spy on us, to find information about us, to say, you're the bad guy. So there's no benefit to the citizens for the hard-earned tax-paying dollars to allow the governments to spy on them. And for what? And I understand to protect us from terrorist activities, but there's all kinds of terrorist acts. There's all kinds of terrorist things that are going to happen, that have happened, that will happen. There's no way to be absolutely sure about nobody not trying anything. I think Lincoln said it best, if a man is willing to trade his life, then who can be protected? So I think that that's a much better and useful way of dispensing those funds. Allow those government agencies to spy, but to find out what's working all over the world, from better ways of filtering water systems, to helping the homeless, to helping people who need limbs replaced, that need to try to live longer and healthier and prosperous lives, to get healthier foods in them, to educate their children. There are many things that need to be spied out, but that's the thing that they should be using the spying for, not to see if somebody's talking about something the other. You guys work for other governments anyway. You guys work for corporate agencies anyway. I'm sure they would be very interested in that information because that would help them. See, that's a much better use of our monies, and it would most certainly help the citizenry. What other things that we have here that we could talk about? In terms of Syria and what's going on over there, I don't suggest by any means that we should go to war. I understand there's killing going on. It's a killing field right now. But there's a lot of killing in Mexico right now. Are we going to invade Mexico? There's lots of killing over in Africa right now. Are we going to invade Africa? There's killing going on all over the world. Babies are being born. People die. Not to make light of any of it. It's all terrible. But, we can't be the police of the world. I think we should send people over there to check things out and get it to the right people to help them to help themselves. If Russia has an interest in Syria right now, and the China doesn't want us over there, then those are their allies, and we should work and respect them. We want people to respect us, and we should stay the hell out of there. And we most certainly should work with those governments. We talk to them all the time, doing those big meetings you guys have once or twice a year, and then you could always pick up the phone and talk to them. So talk that stuff out. Work with the people. Give them incentives to help them. Let them know that you help them with the human rights accusations we're making against them from stuff they've done in the past. There's things that you guys can offer China and Russia to help them to work with President Assad and solve the situations over there. And stop with this gas business, gas mask. It's all the same. If they're not dropping nukes, that should be the only thing we're concerned with, So killing is killing, and war is the bad guy. It's not just gas. Okay? I talked about that, and I talked about giving money to those people, and I talked about, I think that we should spend more money on unemployed people. That the World War III that everyone is talking about and fearing, I think World War III is the citizenry. That we should be at war with poverty right now. We should be at war with ignorance, poverty, the pains and suffering of mankind. And that's what we should be fighting against right now. I think that you guys should give at least $2,000 to each unemployed person right now. And you might say, oh, see, I don't want to listen to this video anymore. That guy is crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He wants people to give people money. But, I actually think that that's a better use of money for our tax dollars. To give $2,000 for unemployed people per month to help pay their bills. Then you might ask, well, what sense does that make? With a name like Stone Thug, why am I listening to you anyway? You obviously don't know anything about anything. Hey, I know you got a show called The Smartest Man in the World, and you have another show called Ask the Smartest Man in the World. And you seem like a reasonably intelligent guy, but you know what? You lost me when you were talking about giving it $2,000. Well, think about it like this. Do you know how much a cruise missile costs? Do you know how much a battleship costs? Do you realize that, honestly, because I do have those shows called The Smartest Man in the World and Ask the Smartest Man in the World anything, do you realize with one aircraft carrier that we have today, just one, that we could win every war that the United States government has ever fought at the same time? That's right. The War of Independence, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. With one aircraft carrier, we could destroy everyone who fought in those wars. We could do it inside of a week. That's the power of technology. That's where we are now. We don't need to use conventional missiles and stuff to shoot down things. We got laser beams that can do that now. We have power sonic wave sound machines now that can destroy buildings. We got heat lasers that we can use on crowds of people a half a mile away to bust them up. You don't hear a lot about these technologies, but that's what we have. We don't need everything that we have. I understand the technology, development people, and the war complex machine right now want that money. There's a lot of hands have to be greased, and a lot of generals who pass certain legislation, which they don't pass it themselves. They work on legislation, work with the government, in the government, to work with senators and whatnot to pass certain legislation. They get jobs after they get out of government. They become lobbyists. Lots of hands have to get a little padding. It's almost like the movie industry. See, the movie industry used to be just standard video. A lot of people used to get paid for making movies and the way they made movies. Technology has changed the industry so much where it's digitized now, where a lot of people that used to get money that supported a lot of the structure of the movie industry, they used to get money. They don't get those monies anymore. So the movie industry is making a transition between film to digital, and it's causing a lot of problems because we have a lot of people that relied on that money. Well, the war complex, the military war complex, is set up kind of that way, where they get money down the line. There's money that has to be spread around. So they have a lot of incentives to keep wars going and building things we don't need. We have all kinds of tanks and other stuff that is obsolete before it even come off the drawing board. But that's another video. The point that I'm trying to make is that we don't need to spend money on those type of things. We need to invest into the citizenry of the United States. And that's why I said give those $2,000. $2,000 is not all the money in the world. $2,000 would help people to pay their bills. $2,000 will help people get a little caught up and have a little extra. And there's all kinds of incentives that you can use, things that you can put together to help people to concentrate and focus to utilize that money in the best possible ways. But mainly, think about it this way. It's just more economical to have people living in a house than to leave a house abandoned, leave neighborhoods abandoned, where villains and urban plight can take over. It's better to have people living in the house paying their bills than having whole families move out on the street. Because if they move out on the street, they're going to catch all kinds of diseases. There'll be all kinds of other problems. People would be dying, more health issues. When you look at it, not only from the moral point of view, but when you look at it, it just makes good, sound, economic sense. Buy more bombs, more ships, things we don't need. It costs more to maintain the weapons that we have than it would be to do what I just mentioned for the unemployed people of the world, of the United States. Of course, they could do that in every country. And if we did that, think about it this way. Some of you so-called Christians, we would truly, at that time, and I'm finishing up on this note, we would truly, at that time and at that point, be a country that's a godly country. Because right now, when we concentrate more on building bombs and building men and building character and building women, that's an ungodly, godless, thoughtless, thankless, useless place. And it's a desolate place. Desolate of character, of godliness, of strength of character, of love, of holiness, of spirituality. It's a godless place. Why don't you admit that? Why don't you say that? And stop calling this a godly country until we become a godly country. Godliness is an action word. We need to put it in action. I believe it. I've mapped out a road that we can take. So, Mr. Obama, and those who are under the sound of my voice, who can make a change, who believe in change, real change, not the slogan, do these things and stop World War III. Because World War III isn't about bombs. World War III is going to be about people, the citizens of the world, fighting, rebelling. You know, the let them eat cake, folks. That's going to be World War III. And we can stop that by implementing things to help people, to bring this country back, to make people more important. than weapons. Thank you for your time. This your boy Stone Thug. Check me out. You might actually like what I have to say. Peace.